You're not staying, sir? Are you leaving? Okay.
That was MAGA candidate Chuck Hand walking off the debate stage minutes after the debate had actually started. Okay, so this is ironically after a question dealing with handouts, food stamps specifically. Okay, so this is a clown show that I admittedly have not been paying enough attention to, and probably should have, because this is hilarious, okay? So, for one, Chuck Hand is a MAGA writer, okay, who is trying to run for Congress because of course, and this is happening in Georgia. Now, Hand was sentenced to 20 days in federal prison, 6 months for probation, for being there during the Capitol riot, along with his wife. Now, he's there, he's taken on another Republican, this is a Republican primary, Wayne Johnson, okay? They're going to be running against an incumbent Democratic representative, Sanford Bishop. There's a pretty large, black community within this district, and so Johnson, he's like, hey, look, I support, yes, food benefits, SNAP benefits, etc. And this guy's like, no, also MAGA. Okay, so now in his speech, Hand decides he's going to go after Johnson for something that Johnson didn't actually do.
I'm not interested in debating the issues of the 2nd District with a man who doesn't even reside in it, especially one who orchestrates attacks on my wife.
Orchestrating attacks on my wife. How dare you? Well, no, hold on. Wait. So, Mr. Hand's wife, Mandy Hand, yes, that's her real name, okay? She does have some criminal history, right? Now, that was actually brought up by Michael Nixon, not Wayne Johnson. Okay, now Nixon is a former Republican rival who exited the race last month and decided to endorse Johnson. So he brought up the criminal record of both Mandy and Chuck Hand. Okay, so now Mandy spent a year in jail and 9 years in probation after being convicted of a felony oxycodone charge back in 2008. So she was convicted of selling it illegally. Nixon, again, also brought up Chuck's criminal history. He was arrested for criminal trespass in 2005, pled guilty to it, pled guilty for driving under the influence in 2010, and then, of course, the January 6th stuff, right, of which Mandy was also a part of. Now, here's the funny thing about all this, right? Now, generally, right now in the Republican field, the man who was leading Republicans, who was the current Republican nominee, is also a convicted criminal. He's a convicted felon. It's kind of funny that, we're going to bring up this guy's, criminal history. And then, oh, look, Donald Trump, also criminal history, but we don't care about him. I just think it's really funny and a bit ironic, okay? It's just the whole irony of the situation, right? And you've got so many Republicans like, yeah, I'll vote for a convicted criminal. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, some more serious allegations, though, against the Hand campaign is unethical behavior, right? Once again, have you seen the Republican nominee? I'm just saying, like, unethical behavior. But anyway, here's what Nixon said of Hand. He suggested that we make a pact to exchange job offers if either of us were to win the election. This attempt to manipulate the outcome for personal gain rather than serve the best interests of the community was a clear indicator of his questionable ethical standards. Nixon also alleged Hand proposed to pre-plan and coordinate our answers to certain questions in order to deceive voters. Such deceitful practices not only undermine the democratic process, but also betray the trust of the constituents who rely on honest and transparent communication from their candidates. Now, Hand denies it. His response to this is to say, quote, lies! It's lies coming from a sore loser! Okay, well. Look, I don't know if the unethical allegations against Mr. Hand are true. I mean, I can't say whether or not, I don't have any evidence of it, right? But still, yeah, that would be concerning. The criminal record stuff, I think it's only fair that the voters know. Okay, so let's be fair about that. That said, Johnson, not the one making these allegations, Johnson didn't bring it up at all. Johnson was like, I just want to talk about food stamps. Because Johnson, ironically, is a Republican who says, I think we can get black voters if we support things like the SNAP program. Okay, sure. I mean, look, I support the SNAP program. I think it's good to support the SNAP program, thinking that you're going to get black voters to support you because you support the food stamp program. I don't know. It sounds a little racist to me, right? Oh, yeah, if we give them handouts, then they'll support us. That's not the reason that black people support Democrats. Okay, that's not the only reason. Okay, all right, and thinking so is again a little bit racist, like low key, right? Let's just be honest about that. But anyway, let's get back to Mr. Hand, right? Mr. Hand. Here's the thing. This was a stunt. The guy walked out and said, "This is where I get back in the truck and head to Southwest Georgia because I got 2 races to win." Oh, really? And then did he get back in his truck and immediately go to win those 2 races? No, he sat there and talked to reporters afterwards, after he walked out. This is according to the Associated Press. After Hand walked out of the debate, he answered questions from reporters for nearly 20 minutes. Sounds like a guy who's really in a hurry to win. Yes. In fact, he addressed the so-called attacks on his wife. Quote, "It's perfectly fine to attack me as a candidate. I expect that. But to come out and publicly attack my wife, that's a completely different situation." First of all, just letting them know about, hey, the criminal history. That's just a matter of public record, for one. Okay. And secondly, he's not the guy who said that. He then said, "My wife had paid her debt to society long before I ever met her." Again, that's true, right? And I wouldn't hold that against you, personally. Like, hey, yeah, you do a crime, you pay your debt to society, you come back out, you're supposed to get all your rights back. Sure. I mean, again, matter of public record, right? Yes, you had some youthful indiscretions. Okay, it happens. People make mistakes. Sure. Maybe I'm too forgiving of things like that, but I do believe in I do believe in rehabilitation. Let's just say that. All right. So that said, this guy, I thought you had 2 races to win. Why are you sitting there chatting it up with the reporters? That's really weird. No, clown show, clown candidate. Okay. Now here's what Johnson said after the debate. Quote, "I would like to assume that Chuck Hand's departure, the way in which he did it today, was his withdrawal from the race. But it certainly should cause people to pause and think about why he did it and what he was trying to get by doing it." Well, I mean, I already gave you my opinion on that, right? Just a stunt, ridiculousness, all hat, no cattle. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.